Hello. Daily Math Blast 3. Recognize and identify cubes, rectangular prisms, cones, and cylinders. So we have these 4 items, and we have to decide which of those names best fit our 2 solids here. So our first solid here is made up of squares. So you can see every face is a square. So the front, the side, and the top. Well, if you have a solid and all of the sides appear to be squares, that makes it a cube. Now here, we have a solid. The top is circular, and then the bottom is circular. That makes it a cylinder. If you're not sure what a cone is, a cone has a circular base or a bottom, but then it comes up to a point. So that would be an example of a cone. So sometimes you can't see the other side, so it would just look something like that. Okay. Add up to 4 two-digit numbers. So we have 36 plus 22 plus 44 plus 38. Now, I'm going to use a decomposing strategy. Remember, you can use any strategy that works for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of these numbers. I'm going to break them into the value of the tens and the ones. I'm going to group the tens, I'm going to group the ones, and then I'm going to add them together. So let's look. So 36, I have 30 and 6, 22, 20 and 2, 44, 30 and 8. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to list all of the tens. So I have 30, or 3 tens, plus 20, 2 tens, plus 40, 4 tens, plus 30, 3 tens. Then I have 6, plus 2, plus 4, plus 8. Now remember, you can use any strategy that works for you. This is just one strategy. So I have 3 tens plus 2 tens is 5 tens, plus 4 tens is 9 tens, plus 3 tens is 12 tens, or 120. Now I've got 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. Well, I noticed something, that if I take the 6 and the 4, that makes 10. I take the 2 and the 8, that makes 10. Well, 1 10 and 1 10 makes 2 tens, or 20. Well, if I have 12 tens plus 2 tens, that's 14 tens, or 140. Remember, you can use any strategy that you want. This is just one strategy, breaking it into tens and ones. Analog and digital clocks. So I have my clock here. Now remember, we have the hour hand, that's the shorter hand. We have the minute hand, that's the longer one. So remember, the hour doesn't change. It stays until it gets all the way to the number. So if you look right here, it is past the 3, but it has not reached the 4. So that means it is still the 3rd hour. And now, every space or interval between the numbers is worth 5 minutes. So I can just count simply by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So that is our time. Remember, that's just one strategy for reading a clock. Recognize and identify triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, and hexagons. Okay, so we've got all these. It says use the shape below to complete the sentence. A blank has blank sides and blank angles. Well, let's just look. First, let's count the sides and angles. Let's kind of skip over this blank first. So I'm going to count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I'm going to count the angles or corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 angles. And now I just simply need to identify. So a triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides and 4 angles. Pentagons have 5 sides and 5 angles. So hexagons have 6 sides and 6 angles. So a hexagon. So a hexagon. So once I know how many sides and angles, it makes it a little easier to identify. Okay. Two-step word problems. The librarian asked Ralph and Sarah to help him put books away while they were there. There were 57 books about sports. There were 13 fewer books about crafts than sports, and 10 fewer books about animals than crafts. How many books were there about animals? So we have a lot of information here, and we kind of need to solve some problems to eventually get to our question of how many books were there about animals. So let's just look at what information I do know. Well, here it tells me there were 57 books about sports. So I know sports equaled 57 books. Then it says there were 13 fewer books about crafts than sports. Well, fewer, so is there 13 fewer, I'm going to take away, if I take away 13 books from sports, that would tell me how many books there were about crafts. So I'm going to put crafts. It says 13 fewer, so 57 minus 13. So I have to solve that to find crafts. And it says, and 10 fewer books about animals than crafts. So once I get this answer, we'll draw kind of a mystery box, a blank, because I don't know how many animals. And I'm actually going to put that box up here too. So I know that's where that answer is coming from. And then I need 10 fewer. So I'm going to take away 10 from there. Okay. So what this tells me when I'm looking at the problem is I need to find out how many books about crafts I have, and then that information I can use to find out how many books about animals. So first I have 57 minus 13. Well, I'm going to use the arrow method to solve this. So I have 57, and I need to take away 13. So first I'm going to take away 10. So I have 5 tens, I take away a 10, I'd have 4 tens left, or 47. And now I'm going to take away that 3. Well, I have 7 ones. I take away 3 ones. I'd have 4 ones left, and I'd keep my 4 tens, so 44. So that tells me I have 44 books about crafts. Well, now, since 44 is in that mystery box, I can bring my 44 here. And now I have 44 minus 10. Well, I can use kind of my unit form that I've kind of was using there by talking about tens and ones. So I have 4 tens. I'm subtracting 1 10. Well, 4 tens minus 1 10 is 3 tens. And I had 4 ones. I did not take away any ones, so I'd have 4 ones left. So how many books were there about animals? There were 34 books about animals. So this is Daily Math Blast number 3. Thank you.